Hey!
Hey, it's my friend Bobby and me, and we are at the Death Valley Junction Cemetery. And why, you ask? Well, that's because this guy right here travels the United States and cleans up gravestones and headstones, specifically for veterans. I mean, I've been here once before, but now I'm coming back because I want to see what Bobby does to clean up gravestones in the desert, which is completely different from what you do in anywhere on the East Coast, or you said past the Colorados?
Oh yeah, but once you get past Kansas, it's like a different. The stones are pretty well maintained by the environment, so it's a little harder to clean, but you still find ones that are buried, and especially under all this desert dust and everything else too.
And I'm going to link Bobby's information up above if I'm allowed to. I'm not totally sure. If not, it will be down in the descriptions.
All right, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Desert graves are just extremely simple and different.
Yeah, but like usually they're like back east when you have biological growth and things on the gravestones. We use approved products. There's a product called D2 and a product called Wet and Forget, and those products are used in Arlington National Cemetery at the Veteran Cemetery there. So I use those products only, and it doesn't affect the stones, and it helps preserve them. Here, we're just going to use distilled water, and that's it. These stones out here, they last forever. All right. So it's my bucket.
Got gloves.
Yeah, which
Got
is
a
very
bucket.
important. Just various brushes. Like mostly, I usually have 2 buckets, but you don't need them out here. So we're just gonna, like I said, just gonna use distilled water and get all that stuff off and make little water channels to get, because you can see when it rains and when it covers this. Yeah.
I can see where it comes in right there,
Yeah.
between the orange stone and the other one, and then just kind of bundles up.
Right. So we're just gonna dig trenches to get that future rainwater out of there, and clean up his headstone there.
And Daniel is the man that taught Marta how to drive a car.
Very nice.
And he died very young. You're finding the edges of the
Right.
of the actual headstone.
Yeah. So. It's okay to like move rocks or something like that. There's no problem with that. I mean, you're doing a service.
He's that one little right-hand corner probably hasn't seen the light of day in a minute.
Exactly. It's been a while. You can see it's just every time it rains, this gets flooded. So we're just gonna trench it out, and so we won't have this problem anymore.
Well, yeah, because back east there's a lot of cemeteries with grass.
Yeah, it's all. They get overgrown too.
There hasn't been a Nevada cemetery with grass, has there?
No, I haven't seen one yet.
I don't even think the one in Pahrump has grass. Well, that's in town. Bobby just got. I was neglecting bomber duty because in Tacopa there's so many of them in the summer that if you're doing work in Tacopa, somebody has to be standing and swapping at them so you can get your work done.
What's their title for that?
Bomber flies.
No, the person who works that job.
Oh.
Just bomber duty?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know the official title. That would be good. I'm on bomber duty.
That's a good day's pay. You've earned your pay that day. Okay.
All right.
So that's about as good as we're gonna get, and then much better already. You gotta get all the sand and everything out of the stenciling. And also out there,
Yep, there he is.
I always use soft bristle brushes. Never anything metal, no wires, no nothing like that. All soft bristle, so it doesn't damage the stone. So next we're going to do these trenches to let the water escape.
It actually flooded in Pahrump this summer, pretty bad.
I heard about that.
And I got footage.
I heard about
put
that.
it together. And you'll live at the junction.
So it'll slope off and do its thing there. We'll do this side now too.
Like irrigation system or a way to, well no, there's a way to deal with the natural elements.
Exactly. And that's part of the reasons why these graves get to their condition that they do, because of the elements every single time. I've had people deface graves, and I've tried to restore those back, and it's usually some kind of animosity they had in life with somebody, but not too often. Paint remover, there's a process to remove like graffiti or paint or. And I've done a lot of the porcelain pictures too. A lot of restorations on those, and eventually they deteriorate. I did a few of them in Colorado. They were covered in muck. I was able to get a lot of them, and one was, I want to say it was 102 years old. I restored it to his brand new. I was very proud of that. As a little boy. I think we're good here. I just want to spread it out. And a no-no is never put sand or whatever on another grave. You gotta either toss it or get into a neutral place. Luckily, this one's on the edge, so
yeah,
it
goes straight out.
Good. All right, so all we're using is distilled water. You see the water runs off it now. It doesn't stay on top anymore. We don't even need soap on this one. It's just, I have some residual soap on the brush already.
Okay.
But the kind of soap I use a pH negative soap. It doesn't affect any kind of stones or anything like that. You can, it's usually, I don't want to promote products, but like Myers soap, M-E-Y-E-R.
Yeah, Myers.
Or
that's a great brand.
Yeah, Dawn dish detergent works as well too. And a little goes a long way. You don't need to.
Myers smells better.
Yeah, it does. But those are pH neutral soaps that you can use, and it's not going to affect any kind of stone whatsoever. Don't ever use bleach. Don't ever use chemicals. Don't ever use chlorine or anything like that. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the only thing I really use is a product called D2 and Wet and Forget.
I know, Wet and Forget. What is that? Is like a varnish or something kind of type of thing?
No,
or?
it
just sounds.
So Wet and Forget, it's a really great product. And man, I feel like I'm not endorsing this product, but it's what I use. But
Well, shout out to Wet and Forget. You should sponsor. You should sponsor and send products.
they follow
to
me.
Bobby.
They follow me on Instagram.
Oh, they do? Okay. They follow, but they don't pick up. Yeah, that's okay. We'll work on that.
But they Wet and Forget. It's a product you spray on, usually for the white marble stones, especially the veteran stones.
Oh, okay.
And you spray it on. It can be as black or as dark as this, and you spray it. Sometimes it'll take 2 or 3 applications, but eventually it'll turn bright white again. And it usually takes about anywhere, depending on how bad the stone is, anywhere between 2 to 5 months. And it comes out. It removes all the muck off there.
Oh, wow.
And it's a great product, and it keeps it.
I think I've seen you. Is that the ones when you do the videos where you say like first coat or
That's
first?
It.
Okay, yeah.
That's exactly it. But this will turn out nice. We'll get rid of that.
No.
We'll get rid of that and pretty this thing up and return the rocks where they're supposed to be. And yeah, this was an easy one. But they're all easy, and I encourage people to go out there and do it in their local cemeteries. I'm big on that on my social media. Is just go out there and do it. And it's surprising how many people are into it. You run into in cemeteries. I've been in cemeteries all over the world, and there'll be people out there cleaning strangers' grave sites. And it's a wonderful act of service, I think. And I did it for a while. I started doing this in 2016. I'm on grave number 700. This is 781 right now. So I keep a list of the ones I've done. But I only started documenting mine in March of 2021. There's actually a couple in South Carolina, and they're like, their relative was at the local grave site there. And I went over and we just struck up a conversation. I was like, well, let's go clean up your relative's grave. So we did. And I'd say while we were doing it, I always take a before photo and an after photo. That was just for my own records. I never put it on social media. And they say, do you ever put it on your Facebook or Instagram? Or I was like, no, I don't. And they kind of encouraged me, like, oh, you really should. And their relative's grave was a mess, and it was night and day what it looked like. It took about 3 hours to do, which is a long time. And they kind of encouraged me to do it, and then I started doing it. Mostly veterans, but like I said before, most are children's graves that I do. I want to try one thing. Usually, these are great. These are
skewers for
skewers,
barbecue.
right? But they get inside the lettering, and you can scrape out. And it's wood. It's not going to affect the stone at all. Don't use. I never use wire. Never use anything metal. This is where it's all covered up, so this can be the worst part here. There we go. All right, so a little bit better.
Oh, this looks like a real gravestone again.
And it's a lovely saying. It says, "I was rich, if not in money, in sunny hours and summer days, and spent them lavishly." Good for Daniel. Yeah, so we basically just used some water and some elbow grease on this one. There's no need to do anything more than that. The important thing was to letting the future runoff do its thing. But much better already. So now we're going to put the rocks back. Thank you. This was a simple
I mean, you
one.
always do a good job, so you guys will see.
It wasn't difficult by any means, but needed to be done. And like I said, the important thing is we got rid of the water problem. So it won't get covered up again. Yeah, Charles in Virginia. She was born in 1929, but there's no death date. He was born in 27 and died in 2014.
I wonder if she's still alive.
Maybe.
Out that Goldstein right here is a cat. That's one of Marta's cats. And I was thinking to myself, what a cool name! Like, who would the name of Goldstein back in the day? Okay, so there's another shout out to my mama. Mama, you better look and see where Virginia's at.